All right, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mike McLeod. I'm the Director of Member and Business Development for the BC Hotel Association. It's my pleasure to welcome you to our latest webinar with our partners Rethink2gether. In this webinar, we focused on the topic of food waste in our industry. And our facilitator here will walk us through the pledge on food waste as we go through the presentation. The BC Hotel Association is led by Ingrid Jarrett, who's the president and the CEO, and myself, Mike McLeod, Director of Member and Business Development. Sustainability, topics around sustainability, issues such as food waste, those types of things are important, very important in terms of our overall advocacy strategy. One of our pillars for the organization, and it is incredibly gratifying that we have partners like Rethink2gether that are here to support us and support the industry and present new opportunities for sustainability throughout the industry. Our presenter today is Ben Ligier. He is the co-founder of Rethink2gether, a sustainability consulting company based here in Vancouver, with an expertise in food waste prevention. Ben has over 8 years of experience consulting organizations throughout the food supply chain and has an expertise in food waste, climate change, and sustainable business models. Ben is involved in the Vancouver Food Policy Council, the National Zero Waste Council, and has just become the first accredited consultant for the Pledge on Food Waste in Canada. He is also an executive MBA candidate and has a proven ability to adopt a systematic approach to maximize benefits for his clients. Ben, over to you, and everyone else, please enjoy the presentation. Just as a quick reminder, we are recording today. If you have any questions, please use the chat function, and we will answer questions towards the end of the broadcast. Ben, over to you. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Mike. So it's a pleasure to be here today. I'm excited to share some insight about food waste prevention and how it impacts your bottom line. And I'm going to especially talk about the certification, the Pledge on Food Waste, which is a great way to cut on costs, save food, and expand your brand image. So first of all, why are we talking about food waste? Basically, in Canada, around 58% of food produced is wasted. And this has a massive impact on the economy and our food supply chain, because avoidable food waste is worth $49 billion, and this is worth 3% of Canadian GDP. So there's a huge opportunity here in terms of money recovery from this food waste opportunity. If we look a bit closer to like what's happening in British Columbia, basically for an average food service business, the cost of wasted food are worth 7% of annual revenues. It's more than profits, and so this is like a really key figures to have in mind, because it's really affecting the bottom line, especially now that the industry is like heavily impacted by the pandemic, and it's really tough times for everyone in the industry. So it's a great opportunity to pause and think and to rethink the way we are approaching food costs reduction. So Rethink2gether's mission is to help and inspire food businesses, consumers, and decision makers to see that food is too valuable to waste, supporting them to make wiser choices. And I just became the first accredited consultant in Canada for the Pledge on Food Waste. So Rethink2gether is a sustainability consulting company. So we are based in Vancouver, and we have an expertise in food waste prevention. So on top of working with the hospitality industry, we also work with government and consumers. As Mike mentioned earlier, I'm also part of the Vancouver Food Policy Council, and food waste is getting higher and higher on the agenda. And really our core expertise is food waste prevention. So helping you with thinking your procedures and reducing the food waste you generate. We do not rescue your surplus food and help you like manage like composting, for example. We completely support this, but that's not what we're doing. We're really focusing on food waste prevention. So why you should work on waste? So here you can see the average cost structure for a food service business in Canada. So it was an average revenue of $721,000 a year. And you can see here what's interesting is that the cost of wasted food are basically worth 7% of revenues. And it's great to compare it to, for example, your profits. That's one, and definitely the aim is to decrease wasted food to decrease wasted food to increase profits. But it's what's great insight as well here is that compared to the cost of utilities and electricity and water costs, for example, are definitely a part of food service business. And it's very important in terms of sustainability to work on energy efficiency and water efficiency. But you can here see the opportunity of working on food waste prevention. The cost of wasted food for an average business here is worth around $50,000 every single year. And it's also like an increasing trend. It started around 2016, where the United Nations have set up a 50% food waste reduction target across the globe. And here in Vancouver, the city of Vancouver has made it compulsory to compost, and this had an impact on every single business and hotels here locally. And since then, more and more hotel chains have started to take food waste more and more seriously. And for example, the Fairmont has started to measure food waste using a food waste monitoring technology. And Marriott has set a global target of 50% food waste reduction by 2025. And this is going to impact all properties across the globe. And some companies like Hilton and Hyatt have also decided to really put some focus on training their staff so that really to realizing that food waste is really a key strategic focus. And it's going to be more and more the case, especially locally, because like the city of Vancouver, for example, has the ambition to become a zero waste city by 2040 and to be a leading city in food waste prevention. And there are more and more like discussions currently to have namely a public target of 50% food waste reduction, which is going to imply not only like a household, but also businesses. So what's a pledge on food waste, and what can you do in your organization? So the pledge on food waste is basically a third-party audited certification, which is designed for hotels and restaurants to cut on costs, save food, and expand your brand image so that you can stand out from the crowd. Think about it like the equivalent of the Michelin stars for food waste. The great thing is that it's aligned with 4 of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, and it's been endorsed by leading organizations across the globe, including the United Nations. How does it work? So there are basically 7 key pillars. So we go through like process documentation, how you engage your employees and you make them part of the solution, how you monitor your food waste with a tracking system, not only in what's happening at the kitchen, but what's coming up from the plate from the customers. How do you handle food before preparation to make sure you have an efficient system to manage food? How you prepare your food and you manage your offerings? How you also engage with your customers, because there are actually ways to decrease also plates waste, which is waste coming from the customers, and how you deal with post-consumer waste. So it's a holistic approach which gathers best practices in the industry with 95 criteria. 70% of those criteria are compulsory, and depending on the amount of criteria that you can reach, you can get 4 different levels of certification. So it's also a great way to have an idea of the performance of operations, and some groups, hotel groups, like to also be able to compare different sister properties and different locations to see how good they perform related to food waste prevention. It's an easy process. So there is an online platform that you can access with all explanations and guidance as well. So you have access to different toolkits. And what's great is that everything is online. So of course we can do one-on-one training, but we can also do that online, especially with the pandemic. Nobody knows how the future is going to look like, but it is great that everything can be done online, not only the application for the certification, but also the audit, because as I mentioned earlier, it's a third-party audited certification. It's a great way as well for you to communicate to an increasing number of consumers who are really eager to go into hotels which are sustainable. And there is definitely, now, sustainability is not an option. It's not a nice to have, it's a must have. So here are different ways that our customers have been basically using the pleasure and food waste to communicate to their consumers and to their suppliers as well. So through social media communication, through also badge, which are directly on the staff in the kitchen, and also through table talkers directly to consumers. So we have a great areas of tools that we can help you with in terms of communication as well once you get certified. This certification has been trusted by renowned actors around the world. Here you see a few names of hotels and restaurants which are already certified. I invite you to have a look at the website, thepleasureandfoodwaste.org, where you can namely listen to the testimonials from a few certified restaurants and hotels. I really like the one here on the right where you can see a Marriott location in Bangkok, which has been certified already. And the general manager has been working in the industry for 35 years. And for him, he's saying it's a paradigm shift. He says that this is the way we should operate. And he really sees the value of food waste prevention as a key strategic way to operate. And so this certification is now newly available in Canada from September 2020. And I am the first accredited consultant to be able to help you to reach this certification. Here is another way that you can also show your commitments to your consumers, for example. So they've been working with international cuisine and the buffet. And usually, hotels and restaurants think that buffet waste is a major part of the waste they generated. But based on the data, because when you start you only manage what you measure, they were basically realizing that 15% of food waste was happening from the buffet, and so it was only a small fraction of all the food waste happening in an organization. So the key benefits of working on food waste prevention and of the pleasure on food waste is, of course, saving money is the main benefit, because you can cut up to 5% in food cost per cover. And that's a great way to increase profits, especially during these tough times right now. But it's also a great way to shrink your environmental footprint, because according to the Project Drawdown, who've been listing all the actions you can do to fight climate change, ending food waste is a solution number 1 to fight climate change. And having this certification is a great way to demonstrate your sustainable commitment because it's also third-party audited. So it's a great way to show that you're credible in the way you're addressing food waste. And last but not least, you can also empower your employees because they're usually really proud of working for a company who is having such a positive impact, not only on the environment, but also socially. And on top of this, it has some economic gains, which are very significant. And the last benefit I would like to mention is also minimizing risk, because as I mentioned earlier, public decision makers really have this in the radar, and it's really a way for you to minimize coming legislation. So if you're interested to become certified or if you want to know more, you can contact me. I'm actually the first accredited consultant in Canada. It's a growing network of experts around the globe, and it's only the beginning. If you want to have a look, again, I highly encourage you to have a look at the website, thepledgeonfoodwaste.org. And you're going to be able to have more information, but it's a growing movement, and like every month there are like new experts joining the movement. As a bonus as well, on top of the pledge, on top of the certification, we can also offer you some solutions if you don't have one already to track your food waste. So we have a food waste monitoring technology, which is really easy to use and extremely affordable, the most affordable solution on the market. And it's very easy. You weigh, you record it in the app. So you only need a tablet and a scale, and then you compost. And then through like our analytics software, which is available through our cloud platform, you can then analyze your performance and find really key insights to improve and reduce costs like on a massive scale. So if you want to know more about this, like I'm happy to like offer you a free demo of the solution as well. I highly recommend you to go on our website rethink2gether.com because you have two options now. Like food waste is too important. Like this is something you need to work on. Option one is you do it yourself, and that would be amazing already. I advise you to go on our free solution section where you can use our free gifts. We have different templates, namely a template on cut on food waste policy. We have free webinars, free online courses, and also solutions for consumers like a quiz. And please start, even if you don't have the capacity to work with us right now, please start learning because this is really key. And the option two is to hire experts like us to really leverage the best practices in the industry, because once you start quantifying it, you will have no other choice than like realizing of the magnitude of the issue and the opportunity it represents. So please have a look at our website if you want to have some free solution or to know more about Rethink2gether. We offer, because we are aware it's a challenging time for the industry, we have some special offers right now. So if you want to get certified, we have an offer $1,000 off, which is valid only until October 31st. And if you want to get certified and to get the food waste monitoring technology, we have an exclusive offer of 50% off, which is valid for the first Canadian customer. And we are really convinced about the value of this offer, and that we basically provide you a 100% return on investment guarantee. So if you don't meet this 100% return on investment, we give you your money back. So feel free to schedule a free consultation with us you can directly schedule one going on our website, www.rethinktogether.com. If you want to know more about the business case of food waste prevention, we are also organizing a webinar next week, September 30 at 6 p.m. PDT, where we're going to have like two speakers, namely so Erin Nichols, which is senior manager working at the City of Vancouver around food waste, and she's going to explain the ambition of the city and of British Columbia in becoming zero waste. And also you're going to get some insight from the co-founder of the pledge, who is based in Thailand and who's been working with hotels for more than 7 years, helping them saving a huge amount of money. So if you are interested to get the insight, please feel free to register for free on our website as well. The registration is available from today. And please be aware that cutting your expense is the same as earning money. It's in a challenging time like it is right now, it's really key to identify opportunities to cut costs and especially cut food costs. So are you ready to cut on costs? Let's rethink food waste together.
Good stuff, Ben. Thank you very much. Great presentation and a lot of key benefits there to consider for sure. So thank you very much for the presentation. I know there was a couple of questions submitted ahead of time from people that could not attend today. So we'll get to those in a moment, but I'd ask anyone on the call, if they have any questions, to please use the chat function, and we'll get those questions answered here in our time remaining. Once again, we are recording, so this recording will be made available on our website later today, as well as our YouTube channel. So that's bcha.com is the website, and all attendees on this call will receive an email link with the presentation as well. Ben, I think there was a couple of submitted questions ahead of time if you wanted to address those.
Absolutely. So the first question, what is the financial impact in the short term and in the long term? So I already mentioned it a little bit earlier, but basically in the short term, it's direct cost reduction in terms of food costs, up to 5% food cost per cover. And in the longer term, because like sustainability and financial performance are extremely linked because there is a really consumer demand, which is higher and higher. And so experts actually estimate that sustainability can drive 9% increase in revenues, and employer turnover decrease, because turnover is also quite high in the industry. So it's a way to decrease this turnover and to decrease your payroll by 2%. Question 2 was like, can we do anything with our banquet food besides giving to staff? Any contact for a food rescue organization? So of course, like the first thing is to prevent food waste, or even before having like surplus food, is to prevent food waste. So that's what the pledge on food waste is designed for. But of course, you will always have some surplus food in the end. So on top of giving to staff, you can also work with some organization. Like for example, in Vancouver, there is a Vancouver Food Runners, and they have just developed an app that you can use to donate your surplus food. There are also, I think I had a question about any contact in the North Thompson Valley. And I would recommend to reach out to the Kamloops Food Policy Council. They would definitely have some insights to connect you to the best person.
That's a great follow-up, Ben. Is there, besides Kamloops, is there other locations around the province that our members might be able to access if they're not in Vancouver?
Yeah, so like there is definitely some food policy councils in a different area, like not only Kamloops, but I guess in the Kootenays there is as well. But I could, if you have some specific question, I could definitely reach out to my network and to see what would be the best solution and partners for you. But as I mentioned as well earlier, that's definitely something we can help you in terms of connection, but that's not our core expertise. We really focus on helping you not to have this service at the first.
Got it. Thank you.
And the question 3 was also related to like food donations. So with our current health and safety regulation, how is it possible to recover food waste safely from an event when there is possible risk for breaking the rules? So definitely like the situation we have right now is a challenge. However, like there are food rescue organizations are operating right now. It's like when when the restaurant are operating right now, there is some food safety and health and regulations to follow. So the same procedures apply to food rescue organization. And of course, this depends from one organization to another. So I would definitely encourage you to reach out to some partners. And if you need some names for partners, don't hesitate to reach out to me. So I think that were the questions submitted. I don't know if there are any other questions from the chat. I'm happy to answer any of your questions.
Yeah, no, doesn't look like any further questions. We'll throw it out to the group one more time. If there's any last questions for Ben, he'd be happy to address those. Let's give everybody a second here, Ben.
Yeah, that's why, as I mentioned earlier, like it's I know it's a challenging time, but it's a great opportunity. Even if you don't have the capacity to work with us right now, like I really encourage you to get more knowledge about the topic, because it's definitely going to help you recover.
Perfect. It doesn't look like there's any more questions, Ben. Thank you so much for your time, and best of luck to Rethink Together. And hopefully everyone who's on the call or is viewing the call later on the recording can certainly try to take advantage of it and reach out for suggestions. Have a great afternoon, everybody. Ben, once again, thank you, and we'll talk to everybody again soon.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.